From NBC Nightly News, fleeing poverty and political repression, Chinese migrants are increasingly among the thousands coming across the southern border. And of course, my name is Eric. This channel is called Report and Opine. The coastal elite chaos knows no bounds. Please subscribe, like, comment, share, all that stuff. I'm absolutely begging you.
I'm begging you, please. Come on, please.
It costs you nothing and helps me. But if you do want to pay money and help me, you can buy my book, New York City 2020, Gotham Unglued. It is on Amazon.com. Of course, that link will be in the description.
Tonight, among the...
And before we get started with this is sort of the of course it's international, but these are migrants from everywhere, right? Gone are the days of the, mini fridge-sized Mexican who just wants to hop over the border and work in a kitchen or a landscaping company. They're coming from all over the place, right? Most notably the Venezuelans, who are absolutely cleaning the clocks of migrants from the rest of the world and destroying the lives of Americans all over the place. But here we have Chinese migrants, Haitian migrants, and there's another tab I have open here. Okay, there's the Haitians. Oh, there's the Venezuelans. Of course, how could I forget? But let's start here with the Chinese immigrants.
The unprecedented...
The Chinese criminal migrants, because they got the memo that the door is wide open.
Number of migrants illegally crossing into the U.S. from Mexico, a dramatic surge in people from China. We're on the border east of San Diego. This is a group that crossed a few minutes ago. Border Patrol just directed them to the open-air detention site. They tell us they're fleeing poverty and political repression.
Okay, so I guess at least they're being fairly honest and not calling them asylum seekers, right? Even though political repression, that could maybe be considered asylum seeking. I don't know, I'm no expert, but how come we are constantly, even in China, right? It would be more plausible that people fleeing China would actually be asylum seekers fleeing a communist regime, only to come to America and live under a slightly less tyrannical communist regime. But why are they calling the Venezuelans asylum seekers who are quite clearly fleeing political persecution and skipping, traversing 3-4 countries to get to America, right? And then they also say, this reporter guy asked DHS Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas what is being done to address the difficult dynamic. And of course, absolutely nothing. They're quite it's like the president of Mexico who is in the pocket of the cartels. They're doing this on purpose.
Including the aftermath of COVID. Why did you leave?
What the hell does COVID have to do with this? That was 4 years ago. You couldn't even leave China. And now they're flooding the southern border because they got the memo that it was easy enough to do?
China.
Freedom.
Was there something specific that happened?
Yes. COVID-19. My work is gone.
What did you used to do?
Engineer. Electronic engineer.
3 years ago, 600...
And you'll notice here that the Chinese migrant, the Chinese criminal illegal, at least is speaking English. That can't be said, can't say the same of the Venezuelans.
189 Chinese migrants crossed the...
Or the African migrants from wherever the hell country they came from, blocking up the soccer field and threatening the kids, basically in their own native tongue, saying that, oh, well, if we leave here, it's going to be problems for you after the soccer game, right? That's a different story.
Southern border. Last year, that number soared to over 37,000. Part of an explosion of migrants coming here from all over the globe. Currently, most migrants are released into the U.S. to wait often years for asylum hearings. Critics say that encourages migrants to come, and President Biden should change course through executive action.
The system has been broken for decades.
This guy is an absolute snake. He is a huge part of this problem. He is doing the dirty work of the regime. Oh, the system has been broken for many years. Is that right? Yeah, I'm sure it hasn't been perfect, but has this upticked? Has this ticked up, as they like to say, in recent years since you guys have been in control and allowing them to run roughshod over Americans and quite literally eliminate people for your own political goal? And it's not, at this point, it's not even politics. It's completely insane. If it were politics, there would be a discussion to be had, but there's not. It's literally just, how about you come over here? We'll let everybody in, they're criminals or not, and you can cut the dicks and dits off your kids.
Why not take executive action right now? Why not do more right now to address this?
Why not just enforce the laws that we've had for many, many years? And I'm no legal scholar, but I don't think you can just waltz over here and say, I'm an asylum seeker. I came from China. What?
What executive action are you suggesting that we take that we haven't taken that would survive court scrutiny?
Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas telling us he's working with China, which currently refuses to take back Chinese migrants who are deported from the U.S.
Well, that may
And I believe that's the same thing with Venezuela, right? They're like, oh, they're yours now. We're not taking them back.
be changing. We have been working with the People's Republic of China to actually receive individuals whom we have determined are not eligible to remain in the United States.
And do you expect that?
None of them should be eligible to remain in the United States. You don't just show up, talk about I'm an asylum seeker, and then you give them a job. No, none of them are eligible to stay in the States. And this guy, you literally, quite literally, have to commit a heinous act for them to even entertain the idea of maybe putting you in jail or maybe sending you back, and they still won't do either one of those. And Alejandro Mayorkas is an absolute thug.
To change soon?
We are hopeful that it will.
Back on the border, we meet this father and son who say their journey was facilitated by a Chinese smuggler they call a snakehead.
Oh, that's nice. So the Southern American countries, they have coyotes, of course, and they have this other term, snakehead or whatever, reptile head from China. All right, perfect.
The snakehead would contact him through WeChat and give him directions on where to go and where to stay.
How did you pay this person?
Everything was done online.
We obtained exclusive private messages from one snakehead who claims to have brought more than 100 people to the U.S. this year. On social media, he posts these proof-of-life videos of Chinese clients traveling toward the border with help from Mexican smugglers.
So you have the Chinese snakeheads and the Mexican coyotes, all for these people to come join us in America where everything is racist. Okay.
They serve as ads for his concierge service. Ticket price $10,000 a head. Once they set foot on American soil, the smugglers' work is done, with many more customers ready to go. David Noriega, NBC News, Jacumba, California.
Absolutely crazy. Okay, so clearly they're coming from everywhere. And this is from the Washington Post. Venezuelan drivers have become a fixture on a corner in the northwest D.C. neighborhood of Columbia Heights. Part of a new wave of immigrants, illegals, criminal migrants, and they...
I'm losing my patience. God, you...
Double plea?
Fuck! You're kidding!
Judge.
This is crazy, bro. This is pure evil, right? The Venezuelan migrants, and I've made the joke 100 times. We all have. That they're literally using fake SSNs. They are operating with the thugs of, I guess in this case, DC, but most, notably, we always hear about New York City, right? So the American thugs, or, maybe even legal migrants from many years ago, are allowing these people to use SSNs and scooters. And of course, the scooters don't even have license plates, but it doesn't matter, because what's more important is that the cops have been parking illegally. Insane. Many are among the nearly 8 million people who have fled Venezuela since 2014, as the country faces a political, economic, and humanitarian crisis, which of course now is our problem. I mean, this is ridiculous. The number of are people still buying this? I think so. This is the Washington Compost, and you could probably look through hundreds of comments of people who don't even realize how despicable they're actually being. But I can't get into the comments because that's just going to drive me up a wall. They've also bought a food delivery system that's helped them survive in other countries. Since the moped deliveries began about 2 years ago. Oh, that's interesting. About 2 years ago. Huh. So I guess that would have been 2022, after you guys completely, destroyed the border, right? That happened obviously on day one of President Joe Biden, but it really didn't take effect for another 6-8 months. You know what I mean? The trade has evolved into a cottage industry fostered by word of mouth recommendations and mutual trust. They fled Venezuelan and transformed. They just transformed DC's food delivery scene. Okay, that's like in San Francisco, and they say, we want to reimagine. You mean because everything closed and you guys let the criminals run roughshod over everything? Retailers are gone. Residents are gone. There's nothing left. It is a shell of what it once was. Always a little bit rough around the edges, but there's absolutely nothing left. And now the media is just now finally starting to catch up. Oh, people are leaving New York. People are leaving California. Yeah, it's been happening, right? And I shouldn't say they're just now finally starting to catch up, but they're now writing articles after people fleeing for 2 or 3 years and just continuing to say, I mean, we all knew it. Oh, people are leaving, the snowbirds and Rona and all this stuff. But now it's like, okay, yeah. So people have fled. So we are going to replace them with illegals. So in San Francisco, they call it reimagining downtown. But in DC, they say, oh, they call it transforming the food delivery scene. Absolutely ridiculous. I'm working really hard to contribute to this country. Yeah, okay. To contribute to this country that opened its doors to us. Whatever this guy said in Spanish, of course, because he's working really hard but can't be bothered to learn English. At the end of the day, it's a job many Americans don't want to do. But I do it gladly because I want to show that I appreciate being here. Look, and obviously the Washington Compost here is going to try to play up these Venezuelans who are, look, in my personal opinion, this is anecdotal, but they are not a very nice bunch. Okay? It's just the way it goes. Right? I have been personally not attacked, not like the mainstream media would say, but, well, actually, yeah, I did get attacked. When the lady swung a briefcase at me. And the other migrant smoking cigarettes gave me the middle finger. I didn't say anything to them simply for walking down 8th Avenue in some of the most populous area in New York. But I'm the bad guy for just documenting what I'm seeing with an iPhone. Right? Oh, but they just want to work really hard, and they're gonna come here illegally. They're gonna work illegally with fake IDs, and I mean, how are they getting the bikes? Right? It's just ridiculous. I appreciate being here, and most of us are good people. Most of you are good people who just broke into the country, and you're good people, except for the very first thing you did was bad. And to even get the job that you have to commit another crime. And then the rest of us who are dragging New Yorkers on the back of a bike as we, try to steal their purse. Those are some of the bad apples. But most of them are good, and we're transforming the food delivery scene in DC. This is absolutely ridiculous. For most, food delivery offers far more autonomy over their schedules and pay than other industries. But they acknowledge numerous hurdles. For instance, the lack of access to health insurance. Oh, yeah. They need health insurance, and they've made that clear. They've been boisterous about that. We want more free stuff, right? Hundreds of weirdo African, South American migrants or whatever rally around City Hall in New York City because they just want more stuff. It's just not enough. Think about that. It's like, maybe this is apples to oranges, or I'm sure this is apples to oranges, but Ronna McDaniel gets kicked off NBC, and it's like, she's the most milquetoast, middle-of-the-road Republican you could imagine. But for them, that was too much, right? Well, we need more. We're already doing all of this stuff illegal, and you should just offer us health care. And you know what? If you're lucky, we might cut our dicks and tits off, and we'll be trannies too. This is ridiculous. Jonathan Colmenares has made a living as a moped delivery. How did you get the moped, bro? Did you cross the border with the moped? You paid for the moped when you got here? How is this happening? On a recent workday, he gets up at sunrise, but the day starts slow around 4:10 p.m. He gets a notification from his Uber Eats account. So you're telling me this guy spends all day from the crack of dawn until 4 p.m. to get his first order? What? Delivering food for companies like DoorDash and Uber has become a lifeline for many of DC's Venezuelans as they pursue the month-long process of claiming asylum and applying for work permits. How about you apply to get the hell out of here and go back home? You swim back through the river, hop the fence, the Darien Gap, all that. Right? Oh, we transformed. They want you to think that there weren't enough Americans, there weren't enough college kids, there weren't enough grown adults working a side hustle in DC and New York to do Uber Eats. Now, look, I don't want to be that guy, but it's like they're quite literally coming over. They're occupying your field. They're occupying your schools so the kids can't play soccer or go to school. They're taking the jobs, and then the Washington Compost has the audacity to say, they've just they've transformed. They've transformed the food delivery scene. It's so amazing. And here's one more from the Washington Post. Haitian Americans worry about Haiti, but are wary of foreign intervention. So, look, I don't believe that we have anything to do with Haiti. We shouldn't be. I mean, that kind of came and went, right? Barbecue, we were talking about that for like a week, and then it sort of went by the wayside. This article's a little bit older. It was only 3 days old. But, I mean, depending on what day you're watching this. But so, you're worried about America, or you're worried about Haiti. I'm sorry, but you're also worried about somebody coming in from outside and trying to fix it because you want your cake and eat it too. It just doesn't make any sense, okay? In recent weeks, dozens of people have been killed in Port-au-Prince, Haiti, and at least 17,000 have been forced from their homes as gangs continue to raid the city's neighborhoods. Some Haitian Americans say U.S. officials should be doing more to help those affected by the gang violence that has turned the city into a war zone. Others are wary of more foreign intervention. So they want their cake and eat it too. They want to have it both ways. Same thing we see with gentrification. This neighborhood needs to be cleaned up. But then some big corporate businesses start moving in and they claim that's gentrification. So it's, right, as the old saying goes, if white people leave, it's white flight. If white people move in, it's gentrification. And we want it both ways. Just do exactly as we say at every possible turn, even though it's not even realistic. From Miami up to Brooklyn, members of the Haitian diaspora in the United States, more than 1 million people say they've grown increasingly terrified for friends and family. Yeah. Oh, look at that. In recent weeks, dozens of people have been killed. Yeah, they already said that. Many Haitians in the U.S. appear to be divided about what should happen next. How about nothing? How about we do absolutely nothing? And you guys, right? Because we've also seen the clips of Haitians trying to get to, is it DR? Yeah, I believe DR is on the same island, right? And they're like, nope, can't do it. Here, it'll toss you over a bag of rice. They're saying, get the hell out of here. They don't want you. Nobody wants you. I'm sorry. Is that mean? But we just don't have it. You've already put enough strain on us. We got the people, the Chinese migrants, the Venezuelan migrants, and now we have to deal with the Haitians. And it's just a bridge too far for anybody to say, okay, how about we shouldn't do this? It's completely over, right? As San Francisco collapses, New York collapses, we're more worried about the humanitarian crisis. And yes, I'm sure they have it worse, but that's the whole point, right? We don't want to have it even worse than we already have it. We are used to a standard of living, which they are trying to diminish at every possible turn. As a taxpayer, my money is going to Ukraine, said Wildine Torine, 33. I'm a special education coordinator, and I'm fine with that. All I'm saying is Haiti needs help too. Okay. Yeah, so we're giving away money to Ukraine, and that's good. I think that's good. But we should also be giving more money to Haiti. Just give it away. Just give it away. Others are wary of more foreign intervention, tracing the island's problems back to its very founding. Yeah, and I mean, you could maybe blame Hill Clinton, Slick Billy, Wyclef Jean himself for being part of helping to destroy the nation many years ago. Haiti should be able to fly by itself, said Tony Jean Thenor, 65, a social worker. Okay. Yeah, well, look, the details of Haiti are neither here nor there. My point is that Haitians are worried, Venezuelans are transforming the food scene, and of course, Chinese migrants are taking over at the border as well. And anything less than complete capitulation, I mean, what's worse? The climate zealots, the transformers, or the migrants? Just leave us the hell alone.